When you think about the work that you do, what is the primary goal of the diplomatic efforts of the Vatican and its relation with other states?
We really do sort of two things. Any diplomatic service is principally at the service of the government. So a large part of our work is trying to understand what is happening socially and politically in the world, to be able to inform principally the Holy Father, but other actors within the Curia here in Rome and throughout the world, and to understand in order to be able to determine what is the most appropriate response on behalf of the Church, on behalf of the Pope, to situations, sometimes emergencies, sometimes crises, but also responses which are coherent with the Gospel and our Catholic faith. I think the great advantage we have is that we're not pursuing a national interest. Every government and every national diplomatic service has to pursue their national interest. We, I think, quite credibly do pursue ultimately the common good of humanity, common good also of people, men and women of faith around the world.
I'm interested, how do other states or other heads of state perceive the role of the Vatican diplomatically?
It tends to differ from what tradition you're coming from. There are some states and their leaders who would very much focus on the word you just used, the Vatican, seeing it as this mini state which is headed by the Pope. Others, and this is the position that we obviously encourage, is to see diplomatic engagement with the Holy See, with the Holy Father as the governance of the worldwide Catholic Church and the Catholic family, and to have a more global view of the outreach of the Holy See.
Pope Francis is obviously a unique figure in the world stage today. He has an incredible moral authority. People are listening to him in a way that perhaps wasn't as evident in the past. What do you see as his unique contribution to the diplomatic efforts of the Holy See and the Catholic Church in the world today?
I think what people who listen to the Holy Father immediately perceive is his great interior freedom and his courage to be able to face up to issues within the Church and outside of the Church. And they perceive that he has personally, in one sense, almost nothing to gain. He gives himself to these situations in order to make a contribution, to be of assistance in situations of difficulty. And I think that is why people are prepared to listen to him with a particular attention.
It's obviously very easy to be frustrated or overwhelmed or overcome by many of the challenges facing the world today. What gives you hope for the future? Because I feel like the work that you're involved in and some of the things that you might see, the efforts that you're involved in would be very heavy sometimes to work it through.
Well, you're right. We're going through a very particular moment in the history of the world, the history of humanity. There are many reasons to be concerned, even to be anxious. I think one of the things that the Holy See, as a diplomatic institution, can teach us and can teach the world is we've been here before. There's so many things in the history of the Church and of the Holy See which are situations of great difficulty, and yet we've gone through it with faith and with optimism. And I think that is also something that the Holy Father brings to these situations. It is serious, but with faith and with energy, with commitment and with sacrifice, we can move forward to solutions, and we can move forward to resolving these things which are profoundly threatening to our world today.